Hello everybody and welcome to Connor Sports Talk. Today we're going to be talking about whether I believe the Dallas Stars are contenders or not. So, a lot of people are saying that they are recently. I don't know if they're there yet, but they're somewhat close, I guess. I mean, if they return to form from what they were 2 years ago, I think they could make some damage in the playoffs, but I don't think they're the best team in the West right now. I think they're probably about either the third or fourth best team in the West. But the reason why I said that I think they can be a playoff contender. I mean, they're definitely gonna be a playoff contender, but a championship contender is because they really improved over this offseason. Yeah, this year they had the third overall pick, but the year before they did really well in the playoffs. A lot of people thought this year they were gonna be They thought that they were gonna win the Stanley Cup, but that didn't happen. So I'm not really on the hype train too much, but I think they can definitely make some damage in the playoffs. But this year, or at least this past year, the thing that was wrong with this team was defense and the goalie, and they fixed both of those problems. So they picked up Ben Bishop in a trade. So Ben Bishop is a fairly good goaltender. I want to say that he's a top 10 goaltender anymore, especially since he has been injured a good bit. But he's definitely a top 15. But it's a huge upgrade on considering what they had. Well, they had Leitner, and I forget the other goaltender's name, but they were both below average. So at least they have a fairly good goaltender now. And the other problem was this past season was their defense, and they picked up Mark Mathot. He's a top 4 defensive player. He's decent at least, better than the. He's an improvement really. That's about it. He had his career totals is 120 points, and he had a decent season. I mean, Ottawa, they're gonna miss him. He definitely brought something to that team. I forgot to mention the Mark Mathot was picked up in the expansion draft by Las Vegas, and then he was traded to Dallas from Vegas. And then the other free agent, not free agent, but Alex Radulov is a free agent. Mark Mathot wasn't. So they picked up Alex Radulov. He's a fairly decent player. He had 54 points this season, which is really decent. He's 31 years old though. I mean, that's not really too old in terms of hockey, but it's getting up there. He can definitely still be a very good player for the next 5 years or so. But he played in only 230 games, so he doesn't have as much NHL experience as you would think since he's 31 years old. He has 156 points in those 230 games, so that's actually a really good point per game stats. And then combine that, I'm assuming that he's going to be on the first line. So he's going to be with Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin. So that could honestly be one of the best first lines in the NHL, at least offensively. So, I mean, offensive has never been a problem in Dallas, but Alexander definitely helps. Speaking of Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, let's look at their stats. So Jamie Benn, he's playing left wing, while Alex Radulov is playing right. I forgot to mention what position Alex Radulov is. And then Tyler Seguin is the center. Jamie Benn had 69 points, which is actually kind of low for him. he kind of underachieved this season. So did Tyler Seguin, but Jamie Benn did a lot worse than expected this season. But yeah, 59 points. His career totals are really good. Like he has 586 games played with 517 points. So that's near a point per game, which is a top tier player. So that shows how good he is. So and then Tyler Seguin. So he was drafted second overall by the Boston Bruins. Probably one of the worst trades ever, at least in my opinion. Considering that the Boston Bruins, they don't have any more assets from that trade. What I mean by that, all the people that they got in return for Tyler Seguin, they're all off of the team now. So horrible trade for Boston. So he played 508 games total and 427 points. So yeah, that's pretty good. So all those players are going to be on one line, basically. At least that's what we can assume. And that's just going to be crazy. It's probably going to be one of the best, if not the best, first line. You can make the case for Boston, maybe, depending on what Boston does. But I think Dallas is going to be the best first line anyway. But with that said, what will Dallas be able to do? I can see them getting past the second round. I don't know how much better they can do. I can't see Chicago being bad again in the playoffs. Like, they unachieved 2 years in a row. Out in the first round 2 years in a row. They can't do that. They're going to go back to being a Stanley Cup contender. And then Nashville just got better. And their defense is way too good. So, where do I see them being? Probably second place in the Central, maybe third. They're not better than Nashville or Chicago. And I don't think they're better than Anaheim. So they're probably the fourth best team in the West. But I can see them making the Stanley Cup, really. But I think it's a long shot from those standings, really. I can't see them beating Anaheim, Chicago, or Nashville in a series. I would like to see Dallas win the Stanley Cup again. I mean, I have nothing against them or anything. They're the closest team to my home. But I just don't see it happening. But thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and don't forget to share. Thank you.